Problem 2. There were 3 1/6 loaves of bread on the table. After breakfast, there were 1 2/3 loaves left. How many loaves of bread were eaten? So I know that I started with 3 1/6 loaves, and I'm told that 1 2/3 loaves are left. That means that I'm wanting to find the missing part. If I were to show this as a bar model, I would have a whole bar, and I would show that the total is 3 1/6. 1 2/3 loaves are left, so I know that 1 2/3 are left, and I'm trying to find the missing part. We always find the missing part through subtraction, so we would want to set this up as a subtraction problem. 3 1/6 minus 1 2/3. Now I'm going to begin by subtracting my whole numbers. 3 minus 1 is 2, and I'm going to rewrite the problem. Then I'm going to find a common denominator and rewrite it with a common denominator, which is 6. So my first fraction does not change, but my second fraction becomes 4/6 because I multiplied by 2 to get from 3 to 6. So I have to do the same thing to my numerator. Now I cannot subtract 4 from 1. So I'm going to need to rewrite this with borrowing 1 whole from my whole number. So instead of 2 1/6, I have 1 7/6. So 2 1/6 is the same as 1 7/6. I'm borrowing a whole and showing it as an improper fraction so that I can subtract 4/6. Now I can subtract. I still have the 1 whole. 7 minus 4 is 3, and I still have 6 in my denominator, which can be simplified to 1 1/2. So the final answer would be 1 1/2, and written in a sentence, it would say 1 1/2 loaves of bread were eaten. Problem 3. A container has a capacity of 3 liters. It contains 1 3/4 liters of water. How much more water is needed to fill the container completely? Once again, this is a part-whole problem. I know that the total capacity of the container is 3 liters. So that would be like my whole amount, the total capacity. I know that it contains 1 3/4 liter of water. And I want to find how much more water is needed to fill the container completely. So again, we're going to solve through subtraction. So 3 minus 1 3/4. I'm going to subtract my whole numbers and rewrite the problem. So 3 minus 1 is 2 minus 3/4. Now I'm going to need to borrow 1 whole and rewrite it as an improper fraction. So 2 is going to become 1 4/4. 1 4/4 is the same as 2. I'm showing this fraction with a denominator of 4 because I have a denominator of 4 over here. And we know that our denominators have to be the same in order to subtract. So now I'm going to continue rewriting the problem, minus 3/4. And now I can subtract because 4 minus 3 is a positive number. So I don't have to do any more regrouping. So I still have 1 whole, and 4 minus 3 is 1 with 4 in my denominator. So 1 1/4 is the answer. Our final sentence should say 1 1/4 liters are needed to fill the container completely. Problem 4. Anne planned to spend 1 1/2 hours to cook a meal. She finished the cooking in 1 1/12 hours instead. How much earlier did she finish the cooking? Well, the fact that they use the word earlier means that I'm comparing. So I'm comparing the amount of time Anne planned to spend cooking the meal with how much time she actually spent cooking the meal. So this would be like a comparison problem. So this would be how much she planned to spend cooking the meal, 1 1/2, and then how much time she actually finished cooking the meal, 1 and 1/12, which we know is a little bit smaller. 1 and 1/12. So I'm comparing these. I want to know how much earlier did she finish the cooking. So we solve through subtraction. So I'm going, oops, that should say 1/12. So I'm going to solve through subtraction. 1 and 1/2 minus 1 and 1/12. I'm going to begin by subtracting my whole numbers. 1 minus 1 is 0, and then rewriting the problem. Now I have to find a common denominator, which is 12. So I'm going to rewrite 1/2 as 6/12, and I don't have to change my second fraction. And now I can subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5. My denominator stays the same, and so it would be 5/12 hours. And the sentence would say, she finished cooking 5/12 hours earlier. Problem 5. The total length of 2 ribbons is 2 3/4 meters. If one ribbon is 1 1/3 meters long, what is the length of the other ribbon? So I want to find the other ribbon. I'm told that there's 2 ribbons, and I'm told what one ribbon is, and I want to find the other ribbon. So it's like a part-whole problem. So there's 2 ribbons that have a total length of 2 3/4 meters. One ribbon is 1 1/3 meter long, and the other one is unknown. So you can see through drawing it out, or if you highlighted the important words, that we need to subtract in order to solve. So I'm going to take my total of 2 3/4 meters, and I'm going to subtract the one ribbon, 1 1/3 meters. I'll subtract my whole numbers. 2 minus 1 is 1. Rewrite the fraction parts. Now I'm going to rewrite it with a common denominator, which is 12. My first one is now going to change to 9/12. The second fraction changes to 4/12. And I can now subtract. So I still have one whole. 9 minus 4 is 5. And I have 12 in the denominator. So the length of the other ribbon is 1 5/12 meters.